Welcome everybody. Sorry about my phone. Welcome everybody to my startup procedure for the PA-24 by A2A Simulations. Beautiful rendition, stunning aircraft, absolutely gorgeous. I love this livery that I've got. I think the livery came from flightsim.to. I love the red and the white, absolutely stunning. We're here today in Big Bear, I think it's called. Yeah, Big Bear Airport in California, and I'm going to take you today through the startup procedure and walk around procedure that I use to get the Comanche started. And you can see here already I've taken the tie downs that are removed, but everything else is in place. So without further ado, into the cockpit and we'll get us started. We do have a full iPad here for use for getting the start. It's got the checklists on it and also walk around procedures, and we use it for getting around the aeroplane. I'm not a pilot myself, so I'm just like everybody else. I'm just learning as I go along, so if I make any mistakes, then I'll make mistakes, and that's how I learn. So much like everybody else, and here we go. So I'll take off the control locks to start off with, and I need to put the flaps down. Here come the flaps, and we also need to put the battery on. So I'll put the battery on down here, and also the beacon light and the strobe lights. I'm going to check those as we go around. So we'll click on the walk around, and here we go. So check the flaps first. We'll check to make sure those are nice and stable. Give them a little movement. They should just rock backwards and forwards a tiny little bit with a little bit of a knocking noise. Those are fine, nice and solid. Next, the ailerons. Just check these, and they're free in movement. That is good. Next thing we're looking for is the strobe light, which is the one here, and the green navigation light, which seems to be fine. As I said, the tie downs have been removed, so I need to check that. We'll check the fuel, see how much fuel level is like. I'm not sure how much fuel I've got in at the moment, so we'll check that. Not too much. We'll check the fuel payload, 77 litres, probably used about 6 litres on my last flight, so we'll put a little bit of fuel in. And we are on the left wing here. I can never remember which side. We're on the right wing. So we'll top that up to 80 litres, so I'll take that down a little bit. 80 litres, there we go. Pop that in, and we'll close that up. Back to the walk around, around to the next one. I'm going to remove the chap. Get your finger on it and remove it to the left. This is an interesting one. I've never seen an aeroplane before. I believe the Chancellor now has this on. They just added it. It's just checking to make sure there's no water in your fuel. And you just wait until it turns into a hand. Keep your finger, press it down. Don't use too much, and we're looking for any water in there. There's no water in there, so you just get rid of it. And then sometimes this doesn't go back up. I'm hoping they're going to fix this, but it doesn't go back up. But to get it back up, you just click on that and then click back, and then it goes up again. Sometimes it goes, sometimes it doesn't. We're looking at the propeller now to make sure there's no chips or no scratches or any dents in the propeller, and it all looks good. No birds nesting inside the air intake, it all looks good as well. Oil, beautifully modelled oil dipstick. But looking here, it's more and more difficult to see. It gets easier and easier to see the more you fly, because the oil gets a darker colour. And we just see the top of the line here, so probably just about 10 litres. These go up in 3 litre notches, so you can see 9 here and then 12, so probably about 10 litres in there, which should be fine for the flight today. And we're next looking at the fuel in the left wing. We'll top that up to the same as the right wing, which was 80 litres. It's already done it, which is fine. I don't know why. Get around the walk around. Again, same. Grab the chocks, remove the chocks. Pitot heat we can remove. We'll check the stall. Make sure that is working. And again, strobe lights and the red navigation light is working. Ailerons on the left wing are okay. Flaps on the left wing, again, just that tiny little bit of movement is fine. Anti-static port, never know what's going on in there, but seems to be okay. Not sure what I'm looking for. And check at the back, full and free movement, and the rudder is also fine. There we go. Anti-static port on the right hand side is fine. Baggage, I'm not putting any bags in today, but if we were, you could open the door here and put the bags in. Just click on them one at a time, the bag goes in, and your weight gets adjusted automatically, but I'm not taking any weight today. So close that door, walk around, and then we are back in the cockpit. So we'll shut the door and then latch it to the top. There we go, back in cockpit, and we will get rid of the tablet for the moment. Battery can come off, and the beacon can come off, and strobe lights can come off. I'm following through a checklist here now in front of me, so I'll go through it quite slowly so you can follow me and see what I do, how I get this bird started today. Okay, I'll read them out. Pre-flight checks and walk around has been completed. Passengers, if we had any, would have been briefed, but we have got no passengers today. It's just me by myself. Seatbelt is secure. I think down there. Control lock has been removed. I'll show you the control lock so you know what that is. This is the control lock. It's just a bungee cord around thing around the yokes to stop them moving around in the wind. Parking brake has been set. Parking brake is here. It is set. It's pulled out. Pulled out. It's set. Gear switch check is down. Gear is down. Flaps are up. They are not. They're all down at the moment. So I'll put the flaps up. Radios are all off. Yes, because the battery is switched off. Autopilot avionics are off. Autopilot here, avionics switches here, so they're all switched off. Electric switches are all off. They should all be down. They are. Circuit breakers are all in. Circuit breakers are hidden underneath here, and you can pull one out. You can see it pops white, so you can check from this sort of distance, see whether they're all in or out. They should all be in, of course. We can set the rotating beacon on now, so I'll put the beacon on. There's the beacon coming on. Selectors should be set to the desired tank. I always have them both on to on all the time. I don't know whether that's correct or not, but that's how I fly with it. Mixture wants to go to full rich. Mixture then go to full rich. The prop wants to go full forward, and the prop is full forward. There we go. Throttle open about 1/4 of an inch. Check it's off, I always pull it out and then push it back in again, so the carb is off when it's in and on when it's pulled out. We don't need can come on. The noise you can hear is the rotating beacon. I need to monitor the fuel pressure, so put the fuel pump on, and then if I can get this right, there we go. No, it's not, I always get it wrong. There we go. And here's the fuel pump, so we should monitor it. Should come up to 5. When it reaches 5, it's working properly. So it's working properly there. And we come back out again. Oh, there we go. Next thing we need to prime. Depends on the temperature and how much priming you need to do. Really hot day, you're not going to need to prime it too much. Today we are, I think it's about 35 degrees, so we should be okay with 5 of these. So I usually use 5 on a normal sort of day, if you want to call it, which is a mediocre mid-20s day, let's call it. And there's 5, and then roll the mouse forward, the middle scroll wheel, and move it up or towards, away from yourself, and that will lock the primer then. Okay, so magnetos need to go to both. And you'll shout clear prop if you're going to do it correctly, so clear prop. There we go. So it's going to sound really rough here because as you can see here I am at let's have a see, 7,800 feet up here at Bear, so I need to pull out the mixture a little bit and it should start running a bit smoother. There we go. We need to monitor the oil pressure. Oil pressure. Oh, I was getting it wrong. There we go. Oh my god, I can't remember how to do this. So I use this. Here we go. So we're monitoring the oil pressure. Oil temperature will come eventually, but the oil pressure is fine at the moment. Lean mixture as required. I have leaned it a little bit. Check primer is locked. We have done that. So the engine, if it wasn't, it would be like that. There we go. So engine is in the easy to reposition, let's call it. Avionics master can come on, which we've got over here, which will put the EDM on, and my GTN 750, which I've got using, which I'm using today. We'll check the ammeter to make sure we've got positive amps, and we do, which is over here. Check the radios have all come on. They have got radios on here, and my radios are on here. Transponder set as required. Well, the transponder set to VFR for the USA 1200. Altitude repeating is on, which is correct. Altimeter head indicator set. This aeroplane is fully set. Fully set. Wrong word. Realistic in the way it's the heading indicator needs setting each time before you go out. You need to press D on the keyboard or use the dials to turn it, and you're going to line it up with the standby compass, which we've got up here. So that's that set. Pressing B for the altimeter. Altimeter will get the altimeter set. Transponder is set as required. Altimeter is done. Landing gear lamp is green. It's on very dim light, but you can see it down here. It's light green. Nav lights, taxi lights and landing lights can come on, so I'll put the nav lights on, taxi lights and landing lights all coming on. Mixture as required, throttle to 2000. Check the oil pressure, oil temperature, vacuum pressure. So vacuum pressure is over here. Got enough fuel, fuel pressure is still okay. Oil pressure, and you can see the oil temperature rising, plenty of amps, so there is going fine. Okay. Right. We are good to go. Oh, one other thing I haven't done is, and I haven't quite worked out how to do it yet, where it just said add fuel. Because we added some fuel, you are meant to update the EDM, so I find just the easiest way to do that. I will have to work out how to add the fuel on that, but for the moment I've forgotten how to do that. So okay, and there's the window. Make it a bit quieter in here. Plug the headphones in, it'll give some noise cancellation to the headphones, and we will taxi out. So release that parking brake. I'll put my head tracking on. Beautiful airplane. Stunning looking. And lovely part of the world, this. Big Bear, high up. The rotate speed on this aircraft, about 80 miles an hour. On a runway as long as this I won't have any flaps. There'll be no flaps. This is add-on scenery for Big Bear, which is available on flightsim.to if you ever wanted it. And free scenery, it's very nice. And what is also very well replicated on this aeroplane, and I'm still getting used to it now, is the plug fouling. I always struggle with it. So we're going to check the mags now and see where the plugs are fouled. So we take it up to 2000. The way I do this is I'll take it to 2000 and then to 2000, then just take the mixture down a little and then back in a bit, And the thing I'm looking for in here, first of all, is to see the temperature rise on the cylinder head temperature or exhaust gas temperatures here. I want to get it to 2000 RPM, which it is now. We've got the left mag, which is looking for a drop about 125, which is pretty good. So about 90 on the left mag, and then the right one is not going to work, I know that. Actually, that's okay. Amazing. Both the mags are okay. Next thing we need to do is a prop check. Sounds amazing. Do 3 of these. And then back up to 2000 again, and do 1 more. And then reduce it down to 1800, just to make sure it's stable. There it seems to be. Oops, sorry, head tracking me looked down my checklist. Made a mess of that, didn't I? Controls free and correct, we have checked that, but we'll check them again. I'll switch these on. Yeah, they are free and correct. Elevator trim set to neutral, and the elevator trim is above your head here, up here, and we are, let's look at this, to neutral now. Sorry, head tracking again. Doors latched and all windows as required, so you can leave the windows open on this and you wouldn't crash. So it's unlike some aircraft, you leave the window open and the aeroplane crashes due to stress. You can leave the windows open if you want a bit of fresh air. But the door was latched and locked. Flaps set as required. Don't flaps today because this they're almost quite a long one. I'll reduce the RPM down to 1500. Flaps, no flaps. Fuel selectors are set as required. They're still set to both, which they are. Fuel pump is on for takeoff. Let's push that off as we climb past about 1,000 feet, I think. Extra full rich, but we're not having the extra full much today because we're so high. Otherwise I'd have no power at all. So we'll leave the mixture out about as far as it is. The carby is off. Engine gauges are all okay. We're looking 1500, so our manifold pressure is okay. These are all okay. Fuel is okay. Fuel pressure is fine. Fuel flow is looking good. Okay. Strobes on. Put the strobes on. Taxi lights can come off. Landing lights will keep on. Peter set as required. Do not need that for today. Okay. We are okay to line up. Quick check down the approach path because you can see anything. I thought I had something in the runway then, but there's nothing there. Okay. We are roll looking at say 80 miles per hour for roll. There's 80 now. Slight pull back on the stick, and she goes up. Gear is coming up. Looking for a landing area in case we need to. Landing area would be back on the runway again for the moment. If not, then we go beyond and into the field just ahead of us there. Still climbing. There's a telescope or something out there in the middle of the lake. And fuel pump can come off now. I'll put the autopilot on, ready for we get to the right altitude. Probably stop at 8,000 feet. And I'll go for altitude hold. There we go. We will check to make sure we don't need any trim. You should try and trim it out before you do this. If you don't, then you will get the light coming out. It says to trim down a little bit. It will trim down a bit just to make sure the light goes off. If I pull the headset out, you better hear it. It should beep at me. There we go, hear it beeping. Maybe you can't quite hear that. There we go. Throw it back in. It's a bit noisy with that in. And then we'll set the heading mode. And that is basically how we start and fly the A24. Pull back on the throttle now a little bit, and the mixture. Beautiful. All I can say, I'm always amazed with this aeroplane when it flies. It's absolutely stunning. What more can you say, really? If you haven't got it, it's worth adding to your collection. Beautiful aeroplane to fly, very fast as well. You can see at the moment we're already doing 145, I think it's miles per hour, I think it is miles per hour, 145 miles per hour, so a few less in knots. You see at the top of this valley, it will drop down in towards San Diego, Miramar, Gillespie, Montgomery Gibbs. It's a little bit further over there in the distance. Nice little flight over there if we wanted to go. Maybe that'll be a day for another flight. But that is it. Hope you enjoyed that. If you have, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe if you can, please. It all helps me anyway, since I'm just starting out doing some YouTube stuff. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you again on the next one. Thank you.